Hey retailers, welcome. It's Thursday, so that means it's workshop time. Welcome to today's workshop. It's going to be about how to build out your KPI dashboard in your retail business. There is a worksheet associated with this little workshop. So if you want a copy of the worksheet, just write the word dashboard below and the team will get it out to you. And other than that, I might just roll straight into it. And so, the aim of today's little workshop is to show you the value in having a KPI dashboard for your retail business and, how to develop some KPIs and, hope to share my experience from running my retail pharmacies and how this was useful for me in ensuring that my team were meeting their targets, the fact that I knew my business was growing, and I had a way of tracking and measuring how the business was doing. So let me just bring up my little presentation. There we go. This is called the KPI Builder Workshop, and let's rock and roll. So the main problem is, like most retailers, we're trying out all these different initiatives in our retail businesses. And like we have no real way of understanding what's working and what's not working. And we also don't have any way to measure our team to know what they're doing is working for us in terms of improving our sales, improving our profitability, and improving our cash flow. So that's one of the main problems when it comes to running a retail business without having some meaningful set of key performance indicators, is that you really don't know what's going on in your business. And this is a really, really important issue, because when it comes to implementing new systems and implementing new marketing strategies and anything new that you want to implement in your business, it makes it really hard to know where you're going. And the main cause of this, well, really, is as retailers, nobody ever talks to us about creating some sort of KPI dashboard, right? Like, I don't know about you, like I was running my pharmacy-based businesses in the beginning before I was working with my business coach. I had no idea about the use of KPIs. Certainly, I had heard about it, and like no one had showed me how to implement it. So that's one thing. The second thing is, as many of us retailers are, we're just too busy running around in our business, putting out fires, working at the register, doing all the wrong kind of things in our retail business, doing all the day-to-day stuff, which kind of distracts us from actually growing the business, working on the business to ensure that it is really profitable and highly cash flowed, so that it allows us to live the life that we want. Spoken about that before. Uh, if we get this right, so if you get key performance indicators right in your retail business, it's going to allow you to do a few things. One, the main thing I've got there is you'll be able to run your business from the beach, because once you've set up some meaningful KPIs, right, then what it's all about is ensuring that your team are hitting those KPIs and they're reporting on it. And from there, you can start to see, like, okay, what do I need to do? What critical drivers do I need to adjust so in my KPIs, so that the team are meeting their targets, so that the retail business or the shop is meeting their targets as well. So that's one of the main things about setting up some sort of KPI dashboard and getting, really thinking about some meaningful KPIs. That's the second thing, is if we get this right, that means we've really taken the time to think about some meaningful KPIs, right? So key performance indicators are super essential, because, that means we've taken the time to think about what elements of our business are really, really important and what elements of our business are going to drive that business forward. So that's really, really important. And, so once you get that right, you're going to be able to scale your business properly. You're going to be able to step away from the day-to-day running of the business, because you are confident in knowing that your team are working towards these particular metrics to drive your business forward. And that's really, really powerful. Once you start to do that, start to get your KPIs right, then you can start taking a step back. And this is part of taking a step back and working on your business. So you can start doing all the other fun stuff, like collaborations, working on new marketing initiatives, expansions, or even just sitting at the beach, drinking beer. So here's I want to show you a little bit about what you need to do to set up some meaningful KPIs and create and build that KPIs that what I've spoken about earlier. Just remember, if you want a copy of this worksheet of what I'm going to go through, just pop the word dashboard below, and one of the team will ensure that we get it out to you. Cool. So let's go back. So here is what you need to do to start to create a meaningful KPI dashboard. Okay. So step one is, funnily enough, thinking about KPIs. So we need to get an understanding, or you need to work out what meaningful key performance indicators are going to drive your business forward. So let's think about it like this. So these are the critical drivers in your business, and these are the critical drivers that you know, that are going to improve your cash flow, improve your profitability, improve your revenue, perhaps improve team morale. So some of these things that you need to think about what's going to take your business to the next level and what's going to allow you to run your business from far away. Usually with a KPI dashboard, I recommend that you limit it. One of the other mistakes that retailers make is we start to have a whole heap of KPIs, like, I don't know about you, but I like to keep things really, really simple. And when there's a whole heap of shit going on, it makes it really hard for me to understand all the information. It really makes it really hard for my team to report back and do all the reporting, which is what eventually you're going to get your retail team to do. So yeah. All right. So we need to think about what KPIs we want to use in our business. We want to think about the causes. So, we want to know what's going to cause the results in our business. What are we going to work on? What strategies to implement? What initiatives to come up with? And these are going to manifest in those particular KPIs. So, for instance, we want to, I don't know, increase sales, right, or increase profitability is one example. And one of the KPIs that will do that, so we've got the cause of increasing our sales. One of the KPIs that we could measure about that is our average dollar sale. So you need to think about what your causes are in your business that are going to drive your KPIs forward. Like I mentioned, we want to have no more than 6. We want to keep it really, really simple. And one of the reasons that I recommend that we limit it to 6 is that we want to ensure that these KPIs are reported on. They are displayed, preferably in our staff room, for everybody to see. Because one of the great things about being transparent in your business, and if you share with your team how your store is doing, they actually get more engaged. I'm sure you've seen this. A lot of retailers are a little bit scared about this. They don't want to share their numbers, or they don't want to share their success in their business with their team. But this is a really, really shitty idea, because once you get, your team actually want to ensure that your business is going really well. And one of the ways to do that is to get them engaged, show them the numbers, get them involved in the numbers. And I think that's one of the big missing pieces in retail business and all business in general. So really important. So we want to make sure that we have no more than 6 KPIs. The next thing we want to do is we want to track it weekly. So this is really, really important. Tracking it weekly, what it does, it allows you to make moves pretty quickly. So what that means is, if you have a particular KPI and it's been tracked on, and for instance, I don't know, let's pick another one. Let's use that average dollar sale, and your average dollar sale or your average sale per clientele is going down. If you track it weekly, you can start to bust a move and start to make some changes which will affect that average dollar sale in the upcoming trading week. The last thing you want to do is have KPIs that that you don't that don't get reported on, that you don't act on. Monthly is way, way too far. You want to make sure that you do this stuff weekly. So we're going to track it weekly. The final part is we want to display it, right? Like I mentioned, we want to keep this really, really simple. I think, like I mentioned, we tend to overcomplicate things as business owners. And by displaying it really simply I like to use a piece of paper, really simple piece of paper, and just list the KPIs there and make sure they get filled in weekly. You don't need to go overboard. You can certainly buy KPI dashboards and software and get a TV in the staff room and get it to feed off your point of sale system. That's great, but I think it's just a little bit too complicated. We want to keep it really, really simple because, like I said, it can get to a stage of analysis paralysis if you got all these numbers coming in and you don't know what to do with those numbers, because at the end of the day, it's what information, what actions you take from the information that your KPIs are providing to you that'll actually grow your business and allow you to be more profitable and allow you to make more money, which I think is a novel concept, right? Which is what we all want to do in our retail businesses, make more money, so then we can continue to live the lifestyle that that we want and that this business can provide for us. We'll display it. And the last thing we want to do is we want to observe what's going on. I touched on that earlier, and we want to correct it. So we want to see what's going on with our KPIs, what's happening in our shop, right? We want to see how it's tracking on a weekly basis. And then we want to start to make some moves, like I mentioned before, either, make some changes or minor changes within the parameters of our business so that we can start to affect our critical drivers and thereby affecting our key performance indicators. So really, really, really important that we do that, right? That we observe and correct it. So that's hopefully a little bit about some KPIs and the importance of building your KPI dashboard. Like I mentioned, the worksheet is there. If you want a copy of it, just pop the word dashboard below and the team will get it out to you. So, wow, 12 minutes. It's about time we land this puppy home. Let's land this airplane. So we'll just go back and I'll just quickly touch upon the summary. So what we need to do, I like this is backwards, but we'll roll with it. The second thing you need to do in summary is understand the causes of what's happening in your business. If you understand the causes of what's happening in your business, you can start to put together and understand and determine some meaningful KPIs. So we need to choose them. This is why I did this. So understand the causes, and then we can choose some really meaningful KPIs that reflect those causes. Okay. The third thing we need to do is we need to measure them. So obviously we need to have a way of measuring them. Hopefully everybody's got a point of sale system. If you don't, there is going to be certainly other ways that you can measure your key performance indicators in your retail business. And we need to start to take action. So, all this information is well and good. And like I said, if we have too much information, it can get to a state of analysis paralysis. You want to take action with all the information that you have, and you want to ensure that you start to utilize all this information to grow your business and improve your profitability and improve your cash flow. All right, guys, that's retailers. That is the end of this week's little workshop. Like I said, if you want a copy of the worksheet, just pop the word dashboard below. Either way, if you could like this video so it gets up into the algorithms, I'd really, really appreciate it. And yeah, as always, if you need some help, just reach out, send me a message, and the team will get out to you. We'll reach out to you. All right. Much love. I'll do my famous goodbye, and I shall see you again next Thursday. Take care, and until then, see you later. Oopsie.